The four bodyguards formed a wall of black suits around the woman as she entered the cafe. Their presence silenced the morning chatter instantly. Marcus froze behind the counter, coffee pot suspended mid-pour, as he recognized her face, the same face he'd been serving free breakfast to every morning for the past 8 months. But today, everything was different. Today, she wasn't wearing threadbare clothes and a weary expression. Today, she arrived with lawyers and security, dressed in an outfit that probably cost more than his monthly rent. And today, she was here to change his life forever. If you've ever wondered whether small acts of kindness can transform lives in unexpected ways, this story will show you just how powerful compassion can be. Like this video if you believe in the ripple effect of generosity, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible true stories that will restore your faith in humanity. Marcus Jenkins had never planned on becoming a cafe owner. At 34, he'd spent most of his adult life working corporate jobs that paid well but left him feeling empty. When his wife died unexpectedly 3 years ago, leaving him to raise their daughter Lily alone, something inside him shifted. Life was too short to spend it unhappy. With his savings and a small loan, he opened Lily's Place, a cozy cafe named after his now 8-year-old daughter. The cafe sat on the corner of Maple and Fifth, nestled between a bookstore and a laundromat in a neighborhood that was neither wealthy nor poor, just ordinary people trying to make it through each day. Marcus opened at 5:30 a.m. to catch the early commuters, and that's when he first noticed her. She appeared one rainy Tuesday in October, huddled under the cafe's awning, clutching a worn backpack to her chest. Her clothes were clean but faded, her dark hair pulled back in a practical ponytail. What struck Marcus most were her eyes, intelligent and proud, despite the obvious exhaustion that shadowed them. "We don't open for another 15 minutes, Marcus had said, unlocking the door. "I know. I'm sorry. I just needed." She glanced at the rain. "It's fine. I'll come back." Something in her voice made Marcus pause. "Actually, I could use a taste tester for a new breakfast sandwich I'm trying out. On the house, if you don't mind being my guinea pig." That was how it started. Her name was Elena, and she became a regular, arriving each morning just as Marcus was opening. He learned she was taking early morning buses to a hospital across town where she worked as a cleaner. The job barely covered her rent, but she was studying online in the evenings, determined to create a better life. "What are you studying?" Marcus had asked one morning, sliding her usual egg sandwich and coffee across the counter. "Law," she'd answered, a flash of determination crossing her face. "I know it sounds ridiculous. A 30-year-old cleaning lady thinking she can become a lawyer." "It doesn't sound ridiculous at all," Marcus had replied. "It sounds brave." As weeks turned to months, their morning ritual became the highlight of Marcus's day. He never charged Elena for her breakfast, waving away her protests with a simple, "Pay it forward someday." His daughter Lily, who sometimes helped at the cafe before school, adored Elena and often sat with her, showing off homework or chattering about 8-year-old concerns. What Marcus didn't know, couldn't have known, was that Elena Vasquez wasn't just any law student. Before circumstances had forced her into poverty, she had been a brilliant legal mind with connections to one of the city's most prestigious firms. A series of personal tragedies, including a devastating illness and the death of her parents, had derailed her promising career and drained her finances. The morning everything changed started like any other. Marcus was preparing for the day when his phone rang. It was Mrs. Rodriguez, Lily's regular babysitter. "I'm so sorry, Marcus," she said, her voice congested with a bad cold. "I can't watch Lily today. I've tried everyone I know, but it's such short notice." Marcus felt panic rising in his chest. He couldn't close the cafe, Tuesday was one of his busiest days, and he needed the income. But Lily's school was closed for a teacher training day, and he had nowhere to send her. When Elena arrived for her usual breakfast, she found Marcus distracted and worried. "What's wrong?" she asked, accepting her coffee with a frown. Marcus explained his dilemma, running a hand through his hair in frustration. I can watch her, Elena offered immediately. I don't work at the hospital on Tuesdays. I was going to study at the library, but I can do that here just as easily. I couldn't ask you to. You didn't ask. I offered, Elena said firmly. Besides, Lily and I get along great. It'll be fun. That day became one of the best in Lily's young life. Elena helped her build a fort behind the counter using empty coffee bean sacks. They invented a secret language, drew elaborate pictures for the cafe walls, and Elena even taught Lily some basic legal terms, turning them into a game. Habeas corpus means, you have the body, Elena explained. So whenever I say, habeas corpus, you have to freeze exactly where you are. Lily thought this was hilarious and spent the day randomly shouting, habeas corpus, at customers, who good-naturedly played along. By closing time, Marcus was overwhelmed with gratitude. I don't know how to thank you, he told Elena as they cleaned up. You've been feeding me for months, she replied simply. This is the least I could do. After that day, Elena became more than just a morning customer. She was a friend, occasionally watching Lily when Marcus was in a bind, helping with the cafe's bookkeeping when she discovered Marcus was struggling with it, and bringing a warmth to their lives that had been missing since his wife died. What Marcus didn't realize was that Elena's circumstances were slowly changing. Her online studies were progressing faster than expected, and a former colleague had reconnected with her, offering part-time work doing legal research. She was gradually climbing out of poverty, but she kept coming to the cafe each morning, drawn by the kindness she found there. 6 months into their friendship, disaster struck. A pipe burst in the cafe's ceiling overnight, flooding the entire space and destroying much of the equipment. Marcus's insurance would cover some of it, but not enough. As he stood in the middle of the soggy mess, Lily clutching his hand, he felt the weight of failure pressing down on him. We'll figure it out, Daddy, Lily said, her small voice full of a confidence he couldn't feel. The cafe remained closed for 2 weeks. Marcus took odd jobs, trying to scrape together enough money for repairs while waiting for the insurance check. Elena stopped by the apartment he shared with Lily, bringing groceries and offering encouragement, but he could see the worry in her eyes. What he didn't know was that Elena was working tirelessly behind the scenes. Her legal connections were growing, and she had discovered something significant. The building's owner had been negligent in maintaining the plumbing, despite multiple complaints from tenants. The burst pipe wasn't bad luck, it was the result of negligence. 3 weeks after the flood, Marcus received a call from a number he didn't recognize. Mr. Jenkins? This is Harrington and Associates law firm. We need to schedule a meeting regarding your cafe situation. Confused and a little worried, Marcus agreed to meet the following morning. He assumed it was something to do with his lease or insurance claim. When he arrived at the address he'd been given, he was surprised to find himself at one of the most prestigious law firms in the city. Even more surprising was seeing Elena sitting in the conference room, dressed in a professional suit, surrounded by senior partners. Elena? What's going on? She stood, extending her hand formally, though her eyes held the same warmth he'd come to know. Officially, I'm Elena Vasquez, legal consultant for Harrington and Associates. Unofficially, I'm still the woman you've been feeding breakfast to for 8 months. Over the next hour, Marcus learned the truth. Elena had indeed fallen on hard times, but before that, she had been a rising star in the legal world. Her former mentors had welcomed her back, impressed by her determination to rebuild her life. The firm had taken on Marcus's case pro bono, and they had already secured a settlement from the building owner, enough to not only repair the cafe but to expand it. Why didn't you tell me? Marcus asked when they were alone. At first, I was ashamed, Elena admitted. Then, as things got better, I was afraid it would change things between us. Your kindness was never about pity, you helped me when you thought I couldn't possibly repay you. That meant everything. 2 months later, Lily's place reopened with a celebration that brought the whole neighborhood together. The cafe was better than before, with a small play area for children and a quiet corner with legal reference books that Elena jokingly called the law library. The morning the story began, the day the bodyguards and lawyers entered the cafe, was exactly 1 year after Elena had first sheltered under the awning. She had come with a proposal. Her firm was representing a client who wanted to franchise small, community-focused cafes throughout the city, with a portion of profits going to scholarships for people rebuilding their lives after hardship. They want Lily's place to be the model, Elena explained, as Marcus tried to process what was happening. You would oversee the whole operation, teaching others your approach to creating not just a business, but a community space. The bodyguards, it turned out, weren't for Elena but for her client, a publicity-shy billionaire who believed in second chances because she'd been given one herself years ago. As Marcus signed the contracts that would forever change his and Lily's future, he thought about the simple decision to offer a free sandwich to a woman in the rain. He couldn't have known then where that small kindness would lead. Today, there are 27 Lily's Place cafes across the country, each one committed to the principle that everyone deserves both good food and dignity. Marcus still works the morning shift at the original location, and though Elena no longer needs free breakfast, she still comes by every day. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create ripples that turn into waves, changing not just one life but many. Marcus Jenkins never set out to be a hero, he was just a single dad trying to teach his daughter that compassion matters. In doing so, he built something far greater than a cafe. He built a community. And it all started with a simple question to a stranger in the rain: would you like some breakfast? If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Remember that the kindness you show today might return to you in ways you never imagined tomorrow. Share your own stories of unexpected kindness in the comments below, and join our community of believers in the power of human connection.